What if everything you thought you knew about this moment was wrong? What if one decision, one swing, one call, or one tiny mistake changed the entire outcome in a way nobody realized until it was too late? What if the real story isn't what we saw on TV but what happened behind the scenes, between the lines, and in the split-second reactions of the players who lived it? And most importantly, what if the truth is far crazier than anyone expected? Because today, we're asking the question everyone else is too scared to ask: what really happened? Most people think they know exactly how this moment went down: a clean play, a big hit, a simple decision. But what if that's only one side of the story? From the dugout, it looked completely different. From the stands, it felt like chaos. From the players, it was panic mixed with instinct. And from the analytics crew, it was a disaster waiting to happen. The beauty of this moment is that every angle tells a different truth. So today we're putting all perspectives side by side to reveal one shocking reality. The moment everyone remembers wasn't the moment that mattered most. Something happened in this game that almost nobody noticed. It wasn't shown on broadcast replays, it wasn't mentioned by commentators, and even most fans in the stadium missed it completely. But the players saw it. The coaches reacted to it. And it quietly changed everything that followed: the momentum, the strategy, the confidence, and ultimately the outcome. It was a tiny moment hidden inside the chaos, a detail so small it took analysts hours to uncover it. But once you see it, you'll never watch the game the same way again. This is the moment that changed everything. Before we get into this absolutely wild breakdown, hit that like button, subscribe, and turn on notifications so you never miss the biggest baseball stories, the craziest playoff moments, and the games that change MLB history. Because today we're diving into something that doesn't even need an introduction. Something that sent shockwaves across the entire sport. Something fans will talk about for decades. World Series Game 7, not just a baseball game, but one of the greatest battles, greatest spectacles, and greatest emotional roller coasters this sport has ever seen. From the very first pitch, you could feel it. Everyone in the stadium was on their feet. Heartbeats were faster. The air felt like it was vibrating, like the ballpark itself knew history was about to be written. You don't get that every year. You barely get it every decade. A Game 7 is rare, but a Game 7 like this? That's once in a generation. What made it special wasn't just the stakes, it was the storylines slamming into each other. Stars versus stars. Rookies thrown into the brightest spotlight of their lives. Legends trying to cement their legacy. Managers making choices fans will argue about forever. It was everything that makes baseball incredible, packed into 9 intense, heart-pounding innings. The first inning alone told the whole story. The pitcher came out firing, completely locked in. 99 on the corner. Brutal breaking stuff. You could see the focus on his face. But the leadoff hitter wasn't backing down. He kept fouling off pitch after pitch, and the crowd realized this wasn't just an at-bat, it was a battle. Then crack. A screaming liner to deep right. For half a second, everyone thought it was gone. But the right fielder sprinted, reached back at the last possible moment, crashed into the wall, and somehow held on. The stadium exploded. That catch alone would have been the highlight of any normal Game 7. But not tonight. Because minutes later things got even crazier. The second hitter stepped in and demolished the first pitch he got. A no-doubt blast the moment it left the bat. The pitcher didn't even turn around. 1-0. A statement. A warning that pressure wasn't going to stop these hitters. But the magic of this game? The home team didn't panic. No meltdown. No manager sprinting to the bullpen. The starter took a breath. He knew this wasn't going to be a low-scoring game. He was in for a fight, and he embraced it. Bottom of the first, the home team came out with fire. A rip single. The stadium roaring. Then a perfect bunt, the kind you only see in October. A runner on second with no outs. The crowd smelling a quick answer. And then the impossible happened. A line drive up the middle, a guaranteed RBI. But the pitcher snagged it behind his back without even looking. Pure instincts. Then he spun and started a double play that sucked the air out of the stadium. That play flipped the entire momentum of the World Series. But if you thought that was the moment of the night, not even close. As the innings passed, the pitching got sharper, the at-bats got smarter, and the defense turned into absolute chaos. Every inning felt like its own mini-movie. A diving stop at third that saved 2 runs. A runner thrown out trying to stretch a single into a double, a mistake he'll think about for years. A controversial strike call in the fourth that set the whole crowd off. This wasn't just a baseball game. This was survival. Then came the 6th inning, the inning that changed everything. The visiting team loaded the bases with nobody out. The stadium went silent. The pitcher looked shaken. One swing could have ended the entire season. The manager walked to the mound. Everyone expected the hook. But he left his starter in a decision that was about to become legendary or disastrous. First pitch, swing and miss. Second pitch, foul. Third pitch, a slider that almost hit the dirt, but the batter chased. Strike 3. 1 out. The crowd came alive again, but bases still loaded with 2 dangerous hitters coming up. Next batter grounded to third. The third baseman charged, stepped on the bag, fired to first, double play. Inning over. The stadium was shaking. That was the loudest moment of the night, and the turning point of the entire game. Bottom of the 6th, the home team flipped the script. A leadoff double. Then a sharp single. First and third. The entire stadium chanting. And then a squeeze bunt. Perfectly executed. The runner broke for home, the bunt dropped perfectly, and the game was tied. In a Game 7. On a squeeze. Absolute guts. Moments later, a deep sacrifice fly gave them the lead. 2-1. The place erupted. The energy shifted completely. But baseball always twists the knife. Top of the 8th. 2 outs. 2 strikes. The crowd ready to explode into the bottom of the inning. And suddenly crack. A rocket to left center. The outfielders sprinted, dove, collided, and the ball hit the turf. Tie game. Hearts breaking instantly. Baseball giveth and baseball taketh away. And now it all came down to the 9th. Top of the 9th, leadoff walk. Panic. A stolen base. More panic. But the bullpen locked it down, strikeout, pop up, ground out. A heroic inning that will be told in stories for years. Bottom of the 9th. The entire stadium on its feet. First hitter singled. Second hitter moved him over. 1 out. Runner on second. Sweat pouring off the pitcher. Every pitch felt like a bomb waiting to explode. And then it happened. A hanging slider. Middle. The hitter crushed it, a screaming line drive into the gap. The runner never hesitated. The crowd saw it. The dugout saw it. The hitter knew the game was over the moment he dropped his bat. The runner tore around third. The noise reached a level that felt like the stadium was shaking apart. The throw came in late. Ball game. World champions. Players flooded the field. Fans cried, screamed, jumped, hugged strangers. Fireworks exploded. The walk-off hero stood on second base with his arms raised, soaking in a moment only a handful of players in baseball history have ever lived. Game 7 wasn't just great. It wasn't just dramatic. It was one of the greatest baseball games ever played, a masterpiece of pressure, willpower, chaos, heartbreak, and triumph. And if you loved this breakdown, hit that like button, subscribe, and turn on notifications so you never miss another epic baseball story. Because if this Game 7 proved anything, it's that baseball always finds a way to blow our minds.